Hello, fellow plant lovers. Mike's Greenhouse here. So I randomly decided to do another live today. Some of you might have seen me yesterday on a live stream on My Family Gardens channel. If you didn't see that, I recommend you go check out his channel, Monty's channel, My Family Garden. He has amazing videos. But I just thought I'd do another live today because I've sort of had a bit of a move around for my live stream setup. So I thought I'd try this new one out. So we got Jim Bob's Greenhouse here. Hello, Jim. Thanks for coming along. And Tom Harry. Hello. Thank you. We got Ray's Homegrown Veg coming in. Hello. Thank you for coming in. We got Barbara's Allotment here already. Thanks for coming in. How are you all? So I went to Poundland today. Not the most exciting thing, but I bought some little terracotta hanging pots, which I thought looked quite cool. They're £1 each, obviously. And I also bought some bone meal, which was £1, and some multi-purpose fertilizer, which is also £1. I bought a few other things, but they were the main sort of things that I bought because I didn't have any of those. And obviously the little hanging terracotta pots, I'm going to hang them in my greenhouse with some succulents in. I think they look quite nice. So how is everybody? What have you all been up to today? Remember to hit the like on your way in. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, so I've not got anything, scripted to talk about today, so I'll just sort of go with whatever. So I'm currently in the process of making a montage of a load of pictures of flowers and things like that. I think currently I've got about 30 or so pictures of things that are flowering around my garden. I'm hoping I can get a few more before I upload the video, but that's just, something that will be coming along soon. Green Ravens here. Hello, thank you for coming along. She's saying not in the car today. Oh wow. But crawling around trying to fix the plumbing. Yeah, that doesn't sound very good. What, have you got a leak then or something? So for anybody who didn't see, yesterday I did a collab stream with Monty from My Family Garden. I joined at about the 30-minute mark and we went on for roughly 3 hours. It was really good talking to everybody. And sorry about the lighting. I'll try and sort that out a second. There we go. Don't know if that's improved it at all. Oh, leaking the wall. Oh, that's not good. Yeah, the sun was fine. The lighting was fine just before I started the stream, and pretty much as soon as I started the stream, the sun came out. So I'll just see if I can fix the lighting in a minute. Sorry. So another thing I've been doing lately is I've been potting up some Sweet Williams that I sowed roughly a month ago, give or take. And I've been putting them into 9-cell trays in the hopes that I can eventually sell them. Or at least attempt to sell them. So I've been potting those up. And as I was potting them up, I noticed that they had quite a lot of pests all over them. So I've a little while ago I bought some liquid Deris. So I've used that for the first time. There we go, that's better. So we've got 4 people here and 2 likes. Yesterday, I had the window open when we were doing the stream, when I was doing it with Monty, and the first sort of 10 minutes of me being on there, all you could hear was the tractors in the background. So hopefully we won't get that again. And I've just realized my battery on my computer is about to die now. So sorry, but I'm gonna have to go again to fix that. Once I get set up, there shouldn't be too many issues. I always forget to put my computer on charge before I start a stream. And also, could somebody just tell me how the connection is? Because it's looking, well, on my end, it's looking like it's slightly behind. Is the sound synced up with the actual video? There we go. I think it's working a bit better now. Oh, thank you. Yeah, so like I said, I've not really got anything scripted at all for today, but then again, I rarely ever do. So I thought I'd just sort of come on, see who's here, talk a little bit about what I've been doing in the garden, what you've been doing in your gardens, and make up for not doing many live streams lately. Okay. So another thing that I'm going to be trying very soon is to build a raised bed out of the pallet that I've had sat outside of my greenhouse for a good couple months now, after I built all of the benches with the help of my good friend Jim Bob. I just didn't have enough room for any more benches in my greenhouse, so the pallets just sat there. I think it was about 1.5 pallets I had left over or something. So I've recently propped them up against the wall just so that they're sort of out of the way. But my plan is at some point is to build some form of trough or raised bed, and then I'll hopefully have that sort of dedicated to salad leaves and things like that, because I did have a go at doing that earlier in the year with my growing lettuce in a tub truck video. However, the lettuce that I grew were really disappointing. The flavor wasn't very good on any of them. So I believe it was because they didn't have enough root space, and I think they ran out of nutrients a little bit, or they didn't have the correct nutrients. So I'm going to make one that's dedicated to those so that I can put the correct soil in for them. Mazda Gurus is here. Thank you very much for coming along. So do any of you build things out of pallets at all then in your gardens? Because it's something I quite enjoy doing, is disassembling pallets and building all sorts out of them. Something I do need to get is one of the, I think they're called a pallet claw. They're very good for somebody who is using pallets a lot, because otherwise you're using a sledgehammer and a crowbar, and it can take a very long time to disassemble a pallet. And then one raised bed of herbs, yeah. So how big did you make your ones then, Tom Harry? Because I'm planning on making mine maybe 8 foot long and then maybe just 2 or 3 foot wide, purely because it's not going to need the width, because it's just salad leaves. However, I want a good variety of different salad leaves so that we don't just have the same thing growing in it. And then I might have some, flowers dotted around in it to sort of separate the salad leaves. So yours is 1 meter by 1 meter. Yeah, that's the thing with me, because I've not got that much room in my bit. It's more, well, it's longer, but it isn't that wide. So any wide things like that really take up a lot of my room that I just don't have. So what I've been doing is, when I get raised beds, or now when I'm putting pots out, I'll just have lots of them, but in really thin rows. And that way it works with the space I have quite well, but I still, I can still move around without there being too much space and not enough space. Rachel Jane's allotment is here. Hello, thank you very much for coming along. How are you? And another thing I bought today is a tarpaulin trug type thing, basically. So when I'm in my greenhouse and I'm doing a lot of weeding, because I tend to just, one day I'll just decide that's what I'm going to do and just weed the whole greenhouse and the outside bit as well. So I tend to get a huge build-up of weeds then. And I've got, the few pots here and there that I sort of stick them in, large pots. But I've needed something proper to put them in. So I bought a big trug type, tarpaulin carrier for them, so I can put all of them in it and then literally just lift the tarpaulin up and take them away. Yeah, so Green Raven's saying she has a pallet buster. It still takes a lot of effort, but better than pry bar. Takes a while to figure it out. First side is okay for middle. For middle boards, second side is harder. Yeah, the second bit is the second side is always harder because there's nothing for you to stand on once you've completely ripped out the first bit. It's easier because there's more to the pallet. Once you're down to your last side, it's certainly a lot more awkward to do. So Rachel Jane's allotment saying they've been enjoying the sun, which is good. Yeah, it's been a bit weird here today. We've had sort of good weather, but it's been quite overcast. So Green Raven saying they want to use the second side cut in half to surround raised bed. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, it saves effort then of completely taking them apart. So something I'm going to be getting into soon is composting. And obviously I could buy a big composter, but I thought I'd have a go at sort of making my own composter just out of pallet wood because I have so much of it. And then around the outside, I would just have some wire netting or something to sort of hold it in. So I've got the pallet wood on each side, wire netting holding it around. So then when it's finished, I literally just sort of, pull it out or tip it over or whatever, or just undo one side of the wire mesh and empty it all into a wheelbarrow. But I'm still doing a bit of research before I go into composting too much. I've sort of been preparing for for building the composter. I've sort of started measuring out my wire netting and stuff for how much I'd need because I've got loads left over from some other projects. My main issue is just finding the right things for me that I can compost down for my garden, because obviously depending on what type of garden you have, if you're very vegetable heavy or flower heavy, you need make your own specific compost for that. So obviously I've got a good mix of both, but I'd mainly be using it for my vegetables. So I've just been. So Green Raven saying, yeah, basically when you've got the little wrench thing, it just makes you a moderator. So I think you can remove people from the chat, possibly other things. But you don't have to do that. It doesn't matter. Because I can remove people as well. So you've got one of the pallet setups then, Rachel Jane. I've looked into those, but because they take up so much room, I think it would be something for me to do once I got my polytunnel set up. Then I could have a really big setup of that, because I've seen them being used a lot and I would love to use them, because then I'd turn, one of the pallets or both the pallets on the edges into pallet gardens, because that's something I've been quite interested in doing. However, currently it's just I do not have the room for them, so I was literally just going to have a wire composter. I might even just put leaves in it for a leaf mold and just use it for that. Yeah, where is Andrew Fishman? It's funny, we've had an ongoing joke, Green Raven, me and Andrew Fishman. So the first one to one of Jim Bob's videos, we normally then say, oh, where's the other one? Where's Andrew or whatever? And that's been a very ongoing joke with us. pretty much since Jim Bob started his channel, we've been sort of doing that. You know, where's Andrew Fishman or where's Mike? So Rachel Jane's allotment saying they didn't take it into account covering it to stop the rain making it wet either. Yeah, that's another thing, because you watch it being done in like Australia and stuff when it's a lot hotter, so they don't have to worry about that. Their main concern is keeping it wet. Whereas obviously, like in the UK and more humid climates, it is a lot harder to maintain. So Green Raven saying that is why they use the name. Yeah, sorry, I don't know what you mean by that. What do you mean that is why you use your name? Have I missed something? Oh, right, yeah. That's why you used his name, right? Yeah, sorry, I misunderstood them. Yeah, so I spent ages trying to set up behind me because I decided I just wanted to sort of move my setup around a little bit so that instead of having just a wall and a door behind me, there was a little bit more, just I suppose interesting things really. So obviously I just got a few books here, cactus light here, but I spent way too long doing it, trying to figure out the lighting, because if you've ever watched any of my live streams, you know I spend the majority of the time faffing about with the lights, trying to get them to work. So I've managed to work it out now. I've sort of got the light below me and behind me on the shelf, and that's worked quite well. But it is amazing how long I spent actually trying to sort of get this to look good and not look too cluttered, because that's normally what my shelves look like. So it was an excuse to tidy them as well, because I had gardening books everywhere along here. Then every now and again I'd have something completely different. So Tom Harry's saying he likes the cactus light. Thank you. Yeah, it's just one of those random things, obviously, because I grow a lot of cactus. Somebody saw it and thought of me and bought a cactus light. So because when I watch other live stream people, you know, live streamers, they've always got something behind them, unlike me, where it's just a door. So I thought I'd sort of change it a little bit so that there was something to sort of just be there, you know. So then when I'm talking about absolute rubbish and it's getting boring, you know, there's something for you to look at least. So we're going for 18 minutes now. We've got 3 people here and 3 likes. I'm very happy about that, because literally as soon as I started the live stream, about 10 seconds in, everybody started flooding in, which is really good, because I've done live streams before when I've got to the 10-minute mark and I've maybe got 1 person in. So that was nice as well, because I didn't schedule this or announce it or anything. So I'm happy about that. So another thing that I did today was when I was going through trying to basically just look at gardening stuff to buy. Thank you. The cactus lights. Thanks. So I got a cactus light now. Another one to add to the collection. So we've got 4 people here now, 3 likes. So Green Raven's saying she's lazy with her compost. Has 4 bins made of pallets. Use two 1 year, the other 2 the next year. Little turning. Nick's Allotment Diaries here. Hello, thank you very much for coming along. I'm just gonna put these somewhere. There we go. Sorry about that. Weird light then. It's to do with where I sit. So how are you, Nick? Because I'm all right in saying that you've taken a bit of a break from YouTube for a while. So with compost, I've got a bit of a question here for all of the compost pros in the chat. So if I were to start doing compost, something I keep seeing is compost activator. What exactly does compost activator do? Does it just start the composting process, or does it speed it up? Because and is it necessary? You know, can I get away with just not using compost activator at all? So Rachel Jane's saying to use we. Okay. Nick's allotment diary is saying he's good. Just taking a break from making videos, still watching videos. Ah, right. So yeah, I know what you mean. It does get difficult sometimes to, you know, make enough videos to sort of keep uploading, because you do run out of stuff to record sometimes. That's my main issue. Is well, actually, that's a lie. My main issue is getting the video recorded. It's actually uploading and editing it that is my main issue, purely because I think, you know, I'll do that later and then I forget to do it, and then before you know it, it's the next day and I haven't uploaded a video. So Green Raven saying adds beneficial bacteria that speeds things up. That's interesting. Thank you. So, and Rachel Jane is saying all use rabbit poo. Okay, so obviously I've got chickens as well. Would, you know, putting, you know, when I clean out my chicken house, obviously using all the poo from that, is that a good one to use in gardening, or am I better off using cow or horse poo? Because obviously being on the farm, I can get my hands on those as well. So Green Raven saying supposedly adding some good garden soil / completed compost will do the same. So when you say completed compost, do you mean, you know, compost I've made myself, like the really rich compost, or literally just buy a bag of multi-purpose compost, that type of thing? And also, if that's the case, you're saying about good garden soil, could I get away with using topsoil, you know, adding a bit of topsoil into that? So Rachel Jane is saying anything nitrogen rich. Okay, thank you. So obviously homegrown compost is a lot stronger and richer, I understand. But would you use that then in potting up, or would you sort of just mix homemade compost with other compost, or would you just, you know, go out and buy a bag of potting compost? So Nick's allotment diary is saying main issue is having time to do everything, needs to do loads on the plot, recording and editing takes a lot of time. Yeah, Nick, that's, to be fair, that's why I don't upload so much, is because it's the editing and then uploading it as well, because it takes so long. I sort of put it off because I've got other things to do. Recording, I don't find that bad because I tend to record sort of what I'm doing. I suppose it's the style of video you're making. Obviously, if you're doing lots of garden tours, then definitely takes up a lot of time. And I suppose with yours, because you've got a big tripod and stuff as well, don't you? Which probably, you know, takes a while to sort of maneuver. So Green Raven is saying poo is good for making compost, but it doesn't speed things up. So I need established bacteria. Okay. So another thing then, asking another question to you all, worm compost and worm bins. What, you know, so what is that like? Is that even stronger, or is your own compost the better stuff? Because I've seen a lot about worm bins, and you know, they seem quite technical things, because then you get that compost tea or whatever it's called. I'm assuming that's from worm bins. I could be wrong. So Rachel Jane is saying her compost is on bare dirt, so bacteria and worms are there already. Yeah, I suppose that's an advantage of doing the pallet method, where you literally just push it over each time, is because it's, you know, it's already on the dirt. So, you know, like you said, worms and stuff are already there and they can come up through easily. Because it would be a bit of a waste of my time if I'm going to do this wire method to put worms in it, because, you know, eventually they just sort of come out the sides and the bottom, I assume. So another thing that I've been potting up lately is Bellis perennis. For anybody who doesn't know, they're basically just quite colourful daisies, and they've got larger flowers than a daisy. But they're really nice. I like them, and they're really good if you're trying to save your own seed, because they go to seed really, really easily. The Real Brooklyn's here. Hello, thank you very much for coming along. How are you? There we go. So Nick's allotment diary is saying worm compost is full of humates. Good to add wait, you saying humates or humus into soil? Takes a lot to make a difference. I'm assuming it's humates, but I could be wrong. Rachel, no, sorry, Green Raven is saying if you are loosening and turning the soil in the compost, yes, you are right. It is already there. Yeah. Rachel Jane's allotment is saying she puts chicken poo in a different compost bin, a green plastic one to hold the heat produced. She adds shredded paper and kitchen scraps to that. Okay. So that's another thing, I suppose. You don't really need to buy fancy composters. You could literally just, buy a bin. But I'm assuming you've got a proper compost bin. But I might just buy a like a literal bin, cut a hole in the bottom, and then just obviously have it covered up. But then when I want the compost, take that out and sort of scoop it out. I suppose it's the same sort of idea. It's just letting the air get into it so it can decompose is the only issue with that. So yesterday when I was doing the live stream with Monty, my dog Poppy came in for quite a while and was sort of sat in front of the camera, but I don't know whether she's going to come into this live stream. Depends whether she wants to pay me a visit or not. When I was doing live streams in my old bedroom, Bilbo and Poppy would normally come up and lie on the bed behind me, so that was always eventful. So we've been going for 27 minutes, 4 people here and 4 likes. Thank you very much. If you haven't already hit the like, please remember to hit the like as you come in, because I really appreciate it. Just checking I haven't missed anything. Don't think I have. So a bit of an update on some of the plants that I'd sowed a little while ago in one of my Saturday live streams, I think it was. I'll just give you an update on them in a minute. I'm assuming these are part of the mimosa family, so don't worry, they haven't shriveled up and died like that. It's because basically as it gets a bit colder, in the evenings, they basically close their leaves, which is like Mimosa pudica. If you touch that, their leaves fold up, but also when it gets darker and colder, the leaves will fold up like that as well. However, these ones aren't sensitive to touch, just to light and temperature. Yeah, she was literally sitting on my lap in the in the live stream. Oh. Yeah, I need to get a new desk at some point, because this one, well, slightest bit like moving it, touching it at all, even just me poking it with my finger there, shaking it. I need to get one that's a bit more sturdy, because literally just touching it is enough to make it wobble. So So Green Raven is asking if Tony's channel is Tony's channel Family Garden. I don't know. Who's Tony, first of all? Monty. It was on Monty's channel last night. It's My Family Garden is the name for it. Basically, he started the live just as an unscripted thing, and then about after 30 minutes or so, Nick, I'm actually using my computer because I don't have 1,000 subscribers. I can't stream from my phone, which is a pain because I would do a lot more live streams. Because to be honest with you, I do prefer doing live streams most of the time because, you know, if I'm in my greenhouse, I could just sort of do a live stream of me potting up and things like that. However, currently I'm just using my laptop, which is why the quality is a little bit grainy. Well, it's grainy on my end. I don't actually know what it's like for people watching it. I assume it's grainy. I'll just check. There you go. Right. Sorry about that. Oh yeah, so it's slightly grainy, but it's not quite as bad as it's showing me. It always shows it to me as being, you know, really, really grainy. Yeah, it is a shame I can't use my phone because obviously the quality would be a bit better. And I have got actually a little phone holder thing that I made in my school quite recently, which was really good because I would use that in the greenhouse and stuff for making a live stream. You know, it'd be perfect for that. However, I do also have this tripod, which I got for £4 off of eBay. It is the second one I got because the first one it broke after about a week, but they replaced it because they said that there had been some reports of having faulty parts on it. And this one, you know, it's been fine. It hasn't broken at all. Touch wood. So it's good now. So I've got 3 cactus lights. So if anybody doesn't know me, they at least know that I like cactus. Yeah, lighting, anybody who watches my live streams would know I spend probably like 90% of the live stream faffing with the lighting, trying to get it right. And then the other 10% I spend actually talking. But yeah, so it's good to finally have it against the wall because the lighting is a lot easier to control. So we've got 5 people here, 4 likes. And another good thing about doing the live stream last night is with Monty from My Family Garden is I managed to pick up a few subscribers, which was really nice. And they've commented on a few of my videos. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, these ones here probably won't be in most of my live streams unless I remember to bring them, but this one will be in all of my live streams. Because these 2 are actually meant for my for our conservatory. My mum just brought them up a minute ago. Oh, so we got 6 people in here now and 6 likes. Andrew Fishman, hello. Yeah, we were just saying a minute ago, you know, where's Andrew Fishman? Thank you very much for coming along. How are you? That's my problem with doing live streams is normally I don't bring enough drinks, so I've got to like sort of go every now and again to get a fresh glass of water. So another thing I bought today was this. I think this was in Primark. It was £6 or something. So hopefully I won't run out of water this time. So Andrew Fishman saying it's 4:40 a.m. Luckily he's an insomniac, or he would have missed it. Well, that's certainly dedication, Andrew. Thank you very much for coming along. I really appreciate that. Yeah, it's the same for me, Tom Harrow. Small Garden Escape is here. Hello, thank you very much for coming along. Got fudge on my fingers now. It's sort of melted next to the computer. Because every time I do a live stream, the computer sort of half dies while I'm doing it. So Andrew Fishman saying, "Oh wait, I see. Sorry, I've missed something." So Green Raven saying, "Hello, Andrew. They're excited to be a moderator. They were looking for someone to put in timeout, lol." And then Andrew Fishman saying he would offer himself as a guinea pig for you to time out, except Blue can't time out people. No. So anybody who isn't a moderator is at risk. There we go. There's one for you to time out, Green Raven. I always watch my live on my phone so I can tell whether I'm buffering or not, because it's difficult for me to actually tell whether I'm buffering or not on the computer, because it rarely actually tells me that I'm buffering. So I sort of just have my phone playing it as well, so I know whether I'm buffering. But even then, it's not the most reliable thing. I suppose if I ask Andrew, if it's working for Andrew, it should be working for everybody else. So Andrew Fishman is saying the strawberry video was a good one. Thank you very much. Yeah, that was sort of planned way before I recorded it, like months before I actually filmed it, because I was given some red tub trugs and I bought a load of strawberries that day. But I decided when I did it that I was going to dig up all of my strawberries I had in the greenhouse, because I just didn't have enough. And yeah, it turned out to be a nice little video, because it was just expected, I was just sort of expecting it to be just my average, sort of, I'm going to do this and upload it. But it was all right. So thank you. Yeah, well, for some reason, Andrew, it won't notify me every time, because I think it's because I'm subscribed to a lot of YouTube channels, so it doesn't pop up in my feed, or doesn't notify me when he makes a video. Because I was saying to him the other day, when you can upload a video, I already have, but it just will not notify me. when he uploads, which is really annoying because unless I actually look on his channel, I don't know when he's uploaded. So as far as I'm concerned, he hasn't uploaded for a month. And I was just thinking, actually, I wonder when he's going to upload his next video. So that sort of answered my question. He has uploaded a video, unless I have seen the video, which is also a possibility. Because sometimes when I'm in the greenhouse, I look at people's videos, and if I can, I'll like it. But because I'm in the greenhouse potting up, I tend not to comment. So it is also possible I have seen it and I just haven't commented. So Andrew Fishman's saying it's miserable and cold, overcast, and drizzle for the last week, just like an English summer. Yes. That is pretty much the definition of an English summer: overcast and drizzly. I'm just going to open a window in a minute because it's getting a bit hot. Oh, I've already got some windows open. Oh well. So I checked one of my harvester ant colonies today, and I haven't checked it for a very long time. And I was very pleasantly surprised because I actually had some workers. I think the last time I showed you, it was just the queen, and she had a load of eggs that were almost ready. But now the lighting might not be the greatest for this. I have to see. No, the lighting's going to be awkward for me, isn't it? There we go. You can sort of see them. So you got the queen is the larger dot, and then there's a lot of sort of black dots behind her. Maybe if I do it at this angle, if that will work better. No, it's not going to cooperate. Anyway, I think there's about 7 or so workers in there. So I connected an outweld for them, and I filled it with some dried mealworms and some seeds, because harvester ants, basically they take... Oh, wait, no, there we go. Yeah, basically they take seeds from surrounding plants, and then they turn them into a sort of bread, which they consume. But they're sort of like the storing ants, because they will gather all the seeds in the summer and then eat them in the winter. So Rachel Jane's allotment saying, and in the UK it's clear, blue, and hot. Tom Harry's agreeing, saying it's been hot this week. Rachel Jane's allotment saying she needs to water the garden, but it's too bright. Now, yeah, so people always say, you want to be careful about your plants burning when you water them in the day and stuff. But a friend of mine, Bomster Bushell's homestead, Bomster Bushell's homestead, he's in America. He's been watering his plants in the full heat of the day for quite a while, and he made a video about it, and I highly recommend you check it out. And he has had no issues at all with plants burning. Obviously, I think it's a bit different for people who are growing in a greenhouse, and I'm sure you are going to have issues with it then. But outside, it seems, is all right. So Nick's allotment diary is saying that our summer's been late this year. It's 21 degrees Celsius today, though. Rachel Jane's allotment, Andrew Fishman saying, Rachel Jane's allotment, us Aussies and you Poms have very, very different definitions of hot. Hot to me is 40 plus. Anything below 40 is merely nice. Yeah, that's the thing. In the UK, anything above 15, we're pretty lucky. Anything that's even mildly sunny or hot, that's the heat of the summer. Redman Paranormal, the Rock Hound is here. Hello, thank you very much for coming along. We've been going for 45 minutes. We've got 6 people here and 7 likes. Very good. So Rachel Jane's allotment saying her greenhouse has reached 40 plus, but not today. Andrew Fishman saying, oh, lovely. 35 to 40 is his real comfort zone. That'd be too hot. 20's too hot for me. I'm in the greenhouse sometimes and it's just that hot. I physically cannot stay in there. I just sort of want to run in, grab what I need and run out again. And then I go outside and it's still really hot. I've got to sort of hide in the shade. But like you said, our definition of hot and your definition of hot are completely different. I don't think I'd be able to cope in Australia. I just walk outside and instantly cook. Because it's not that I get sunburnt easy. I know the lighting when I do a live stream always makes me look like I'm really pale, but I don't really actually burn in the sun that much, which is quite good. Thank you. Yeah, please. Sorry about that. So Andrew Fishman saying that he has a max of 13-degree forecast, 13 forecast tomorrow in the middle of winter. Green Raven saying East Coast US alternating sun, rain, all hot. Andrew Fishman saying to Green Raven that you guys are sure getting some rain this season. Yeah, so I emptied my water butt about a week ago actually, because I thought it's been raining quite a lot lately, probably going to fill up again, and I hadn't actually emptied it since last year's heat wave, and I didn't intentionally empty it then. It just ran out of water, but I tipped it over and completely emptied it, so I had some fresh water because I was worried it was going a bit stagnant. And I thought, yeah, I'll be fine. It's been raining today, raining the day before. We've had nothing. we had like a quick rain, a quick spell of rain for like 5 minutes, which did absolutely nothing. So I've been having to go right off of the hose pipe again, which I haven't had to do for quite a while, which is really annoying. And that's another thing I've bought. So normally when I'm watering my plants with a hose pipe, I either just let it go or I sort of put my finger over the spout a little bit so it sprays out. But I finally bought an actual attachment, one of those ones with the handle where you like the levers, you can actually choose, how much it sprays and control that a lot better, which is really good because I haven't had one of those at all actually. So that'll be a bit of a luxury for me. Andrew Fishman is saying he calls English poms because they go red as pomegranates in our sun. Yeah, I bet we would. Green Raven is saying, that she cuts open the plastic at the closed end of the polytunnel. No actual doors yet. Yeah, obviously when I get my polytunnel set up, I'm still not quite sure how I'm going to do it, but I've already had a look at what cover I'm going to buy. It's I think Jim Bob's Greenhouse Adventures. I don't know if he's still here. If you are, then comment now. But he has a polytunnel that's got a green cover. So obviously that is the cheaper sort of cover, but you can get like a proper polytunnel cover like that. And it's green, so it's got the shading already in it, but it still lets light in. Because obviously anybody who has a polytunnel, obviously in the heat of summer, you gotta put shading in it to completely cover it up. So hopefully that will sort of eliminate eliminate the whole issue of me trying to put shading up, because I've already had to help put it up in another polytunnel, and it was really difficult. It took quite a long time, and even then, it doesn't work the best because it's still got that heat before you put it up. So hopefully this way it'll just be shaded right the year round, so you won't have to worry about putting it up, because obviously I'm going to be on my own as well, so it'll be virtually impossible for me to do. And obviously in the summer on the farm, we're always busy anyway, so I wouldn't be able to ask a load of people to come and help me because they'd all be, doing baling and stuff, and I will be helping with that as well, so I wouldn't be there either. So Rachel Jane's allotment saying that her veg gives olive skin and don't go red. Did I say that right? Yeah. So her veg gives her olive skin and she doesn't go red. That's lucky. Yeah. Again, I don't go red. I just sort of tan really easily, but I don't go red at all. I don't think I've been sunburnt for years. Andrew Fishman saying, Rachel James allotment, come fishing with me in summer, can promise 3rd degree burning. Nick's allotment diary saying that he burns really easy, so have to use sunscreen if it's slightly sunny. That's a shame. I think the only time I've properly used sun cream is when I went to Gran Canaria, and even then, I don't think I burnt. Could be wrong, but I don't think I burnt at all then. No, I didn't. And even then, I only really applied sun cream once while I was there, so quite lucky with that. We've been going for 51 minutes. We've got 8 people here and 9 likes. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that. Andrew Fishman saying, Nick, lucky for you, that is a rare event. All right, Andrew, you know, tone it down a little bit just because we don't get sun. You don't have to rub it in our faces that we don't get sun. I mean, you're not wrong. We don't get sun, but the story of Dory is here. Hello. Thank you very much for coming along. Good afternoon to you too. Andrew Fishman saying he never uses sun cream. Skin cancer candidate number 1. Yeah. I should use sun cream more often, especially when I spend like hours in the greenhouse after school. But I don't wear shorts, so I've not got that issue. And I tend to sort of be under shading anyway, so I just sort of get away with not having it. Thank you. So the story of Dory is saying that they need sun cream. They do not tan, they only burn. That's a shame. That's the thing. I can't imagine not tanning the sun. I don't care about tanning. It's, you know, it's not. I don't purposely go out in the greenhouse for hours to get a tan, which is why my tan lines are awful. Because well, half of my arm is tanned up to where my sleeve is. Past that, you know, I'm really pale. So Nick's allotment diary is saying it's sunny today, and he had to put factor 50 on. Yeah, I feel sorry for you, Nick. It's really not an issue I've ever had. Yeah. So Green Raven saying she tries not to go out until the yard is shaded. Yeah, I have to admit, you know, when it is really hot, I do sort of avoid the sun, not because I'm worried about being burnt. I just really suffer with getting hot, and I can't tolerate heat at all. You know, I prefer to be cold. I can deal with being colder a lot more than I can deal with being hot. And what I would call hot, another person would not call hot at all. Andrew, for example, but even you know, people in the UK, I just any sun, I just sort of sit in the shade if I can. But obviously, I can't avoid it when I'm in the greenhouse doing work. That's it. I'm just gonna have to deal with it, which is why I'm hoping to get this shaded polytunnel so that it's just not too hot in there. So Andrew Fishman's saying he doesn't wear shorts. People get sick of just seeing me in jeans and a t-shirt at 45 degrees. That is literally me. I will wear a t-shirt and jeans. I'll be in the greenhouse or doing whatever. That is my go-to thing to wear, no matter what I'm doing. T-shirt and jeans. And a lot of people complain because that is all I wear. I will not wear shorts. Somebody said to me yesterday, aren't you going to wear any shorts or something? Because it was quite hot yesterday. And they were like, aren't you going to wear any shorts? You should, you know, start wearing them because it's so hot. But to be honest with you, I just wouldn't feel comfortable in shorts. So Nick's allotment diaries is saying his skin is very photosensitive. He has freckles and fair skin. So Andrew Fishman's saying now you can keep the cold. It gets to about -5 here at night and 13 to 15 during the day at the moment. I hate the 20-degree bounce. Well, Andrew, to be fair, you're complaining about like 15 degree. That's, if we had those temperatures on average, it wouldn't be that bad. We've just got awful winters. Normally it's just because I saw a video, somebody was filming in like the middle of winter in Australia, and all of the ground was like, and it was like literally the middle of winter, and all the ground and the grass was like dying. It's like, and they're complaining about how cold it is, even though if I were to go there, I'd be like, oh my god, this is really hot, I need to go in the shade. So the story of Dory is saying that they cover every square inch of their exposed skin with SPF 50 plus lotion when they're out in the sun. Yeah. Again, I don't use sun cream, but obviously for those who do, I can understand why, because for the few times I have been sunburned, it is just annoying more than anything, isn't it? Actually, I think I have been sunburned recently on my ears, because obviously I did have really like quite bushy hair, and it was really curly, and it completely covered my ears. And then I got my hair cut, and literally the next day it was a sports day in my school, so I was outside in the sun all day, and I wasn't in the shade. Because normally I go for shade anyway, and because there was absolutely no shade. Only my right ear, but my right ear, just the top of it, burned quite badly. But other than that, I haven't had any sunburn in a very long time. Andrew Fishman saying he has very frosty mornings and usually sunny days. The overcast is really annoying at the moment. Yeah, overcast is pretty much all we get. If we're lucky, the sun might come out. Right, so I'm going to do what my family garden does now and sort of eat my tea on live. I'm very sorry. Yeah, sunburn ears suck. Yeah, it's the most annoying thing ever as well. Like, it's, I don't know, it's something about it. Sunburn ears, they're just, I suppose it's because, like, I don't know. I suppose I always go to do that and stuff when it's like really hot. And then obviously I do that, and then I remember I have sunburnt ears. Or if you're wearing a hat, that's the worst one. Rachel Jane's allotment, I've got, not actually entirely sure. Pasta. I think it's those like pasta present things or whatever they're called. I can't think what they're called. It's the pasta with the meat inside. Pasta presents or something. Don't know what their proper name is. With a spicy sauce. Ravioli. That's it. Ravioli. Thank you. Yeah, I think you've got to be very good at spelling to spell some things like ravioli and stuff. They're always an awkward one. Fuchsia always gets me because I can never remember whether the S is before the CH or after. So I normally put both when I'm typing. I'll put fuchsia for one bit and then I'll do the other spelling later on because I can never work out, which way around it goes. And I tend to just do, when you can sort of like the voice thing when you speak and it does whatever and it gets the spelling right then. So when I'm trying to do fuchsia, I sort of cheat. Yeah, and I got the Michael mug as well, which I've had in the majority of my live streams, I think. It's either that one or I've got a pale, like a creamy coloured one, which I also have. Yeah. So Andrew Fishman's saying fuchsia is correct. Yeah. The one that gets him is Dachshund. I don't even know what that is. So Rachel Jane's allotment is saying that's why she doesn't do potting up in her videos. Labels all spelt wrong. Yeah, I'm normally okay with some things. It's just there's a few things that no matter how long I will be doing, it doesn't matter how long I'll be doing gardening, fuchsia will always get me. So it's a sausage dog or a hot dog. Yeah, Michael Hazel is another one. Michael, I can't even pronounce that one. Is it Michael Heisel? Michael Hazel? I don't know. That's yeah. I can't say it, let alone spell it. Onomatopoeia is another one. It's an awkward one to spell. Actually, I think I can spell that. Yeah, I've already been. Well, obviously with cactus, there is no slang for it like sunflower. I know that's not slang, but you know what I mean, like horticultural slang. It's oh yeah, that plant. I can't even think of any, but there are some really awkward ones to say and to spell. I can't think of any now, but there are some in my greenhouse which are just stupidly awkward. So, it's Michael Reisel. Yeah. Oh, however it is, I think I've actually got. Yeah, look. Have you even got that one? There we go. This is actually what I put. I sowed the plant that I showed earlier, and I had a layer of this below them. The roots have done really well. Germination of them was awful, but that's to be expected because they were eBay seeds, and eBay seeds rarely ever germinate anyway, let's be honest. But the two that have germinated have got amazing root structure. Because at the time, I think Andrew said it, that might be a bit much, and I was worried it was too much, but I followed the instructions on the thing, and it seemed to work. Rachel Jane's allotment saying in a hot greenhouse her brain fries. She can't even spell P right. Yeah, Andrew. I could lie and say that's why, but the honest truth is that I just haven't actually brought it out to the greenhouse yet. But yeah, we'll go with that one just in case I need to show the spelling. So we've been going for an hour now. We've got 7 people here, 10 likes, which is very good. Pleasantly surprised with the outcome or the turnout so far. This is probably one of the most busy streams I've had in quite a while, because normally my streams will get about 5 or so people, and that'll be it. Or have 3 people who are consistently there, and then there'll be a few people who sort of pop in and out, and different people come. But it's been nice because I've consistently had 7 people for a little while now. even though I suppose one of those technically would be my phone, but still. So Rachel James Allotment's asking, what's on my to-do list this week? Very good question. Well, I did pretty much everything this week, actually, after school. Andrew Fishman's putting hashtag phone lives matter. So Nick's Allotment saying a Sunday evening is a good night for a live. Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think I might do a few more Sunday evenings because I've rarely got much on a Sunday. I've normally, as I was just saying, I've pretty much done all of my potting up for this week. So as to what I do next week, really just depends on what's grown. I'd say I can guarantee that one of the things I'll be doing is taking some plants up to be sold in the shop. But other than that, I really don't know. Because I've done all the potting up and I've done all the sowing I need to do for a while. So I might take some fuchsia cuttings because for some reason I physically cannot get my fuchsias to root. But I got a bit of advice last night on a live stream, so hopefully I'll be able to do that. Nick's Allotment Diary is asking if I get much homework from school. Very good question. Yes and no. Normally I would have quite a lot of homework, but I'm not very organized. I'll do it the night before it's due in. It's good though then, because if I'm busy that night, for example, couple evenings ago, we were moving cows for a field, and because of that I didn't have enough time to do some homework. But obviously, so it's good for that excuse. However, in reality, I tend to just not do homework in the weekends unless obviously I've got something due in on Monday. But as it's getting towards the end of the year now, we've barely got any I think I've got 2 pieces of homework that are going to be due because I've only really got 7 school days left, because tomorrow I'm going on a geography field trip thing where we're like analyzing life in a river or something, which is going to be quite interesting. And then I've got the rest of the week. Then the week after that is I think they call it an enrichment week or something, education enrichment week or something. Basically, I think I'm just doing all sorts of activities. I don't know what they all are, but I think I might be going to a garden on one of the days and to a farming show on another day. But for the rest of them, I do not know. So Andrew Fishman asking if I've tried bottom heat for fuchsia cuttings. They like it warm and rooting. He always take them in winter. Then he leaves them sitting on a radiator. Well, I haven't tried that. Maybe I will try that because I've actually got heat mat, so I can try that. Have that in my bedroom going with a heat mat or somewhere, and I'll let you know how that goes. Nick's Allotment Diary is saying he asks because his son gets quite a bit, and he's in year 8. Yeah, I'm in year 9, so I'll be getting way more homework next year because then that'll be sort of going into the GCSE territory, if you know what I mean. But currently, well, I was getting a lot of homework until maybe 2 weeks ago, because we're getting near the end of the year now. We're having our last few lessons now, and because I'll be doing my options next year, a lot of teachers won't see a lot of us again. So they're sort of just having like goodbye lessons, and a lot of them aren't setting much homework because we sort of finished everything. So I haven't had much homework lately. But before then, I would obviously have a lot of homework. And they really, homework eats away at your day. And obviously when I'm in the greenhouse, I'll spend hours in there, then I'll come in, eat my tea, and then realize I've got, 2 or 3 pieces of homework due the next day. So yeah, I do need to be a bit more organized with it, but yeah. I tend to do it. I don't think I've had any late homeworks this year, purely because they've introduced a new system that if you don't do your homework on time, you get an after-school detention. And I value my time in my greenhouse, so I don't want to lose any more of that time. So I'd just rather do the homework and get it done with. So Rachel Jane's allotment saying she thinks she needs to make another batch of Tabery jam because she still has loads coming. Also harvest the rest of her cherries and blueberries. Cherries. I was going to ask about that. So I've got a cherry tree, and all of the cherries are relatively small on it, and they're all red now. And I've tried a few, and they've been really, really bitter. But they are, like the type of cherry you'd normally eat. And before it was given to me, the person who had them said that they were really nice, really sweet. So do you reckon I need to let them ripen until they go purple? Because the cherries are quite small and it's a patio cherry bush. Or is it because they need more alkaline soil or more fertilizer, if anybody knows? So Andrew, yeah, Tabery. I've got Tabery, and I ate my first one the other day, but I only had the one Tabery on it, and I couldn't see any others or any other flowers. But I had my first Tabery. Correct me if I'm wrong, Rachel, but Taberys, well, mine are anyway, they're a bit longer than a raspberry and quite sweet. That's probably the best way to describe them, Andrew. But correct me if I'm wrong, Rachel, because... So Rachel Jane's allotment saying she leaves hers till they're quite dark. But so do yours go like a really, like, the YouTube subscribe button color? Do they go like a really dark red like that, like a rich red, sorry, and then do they go dark red? Nick's allotment diary saying sounds like the variety. Well, Nick, I have had no trouble with birds this year, and I didn't last year either. Actually, it could be due to the cats killing them, but still, I've seen a lot of birds around lately, but they don't seem to go for anything I grow. Could also be because I've got obviously the cats. There's a cat that literally lives, well, on the doorstep. My garden is on the doorstep of our cat, so it could be that. I don't know, but I have had no trouble with birds at all because I covered all of my fruit bushes up. Well, most of them. I got a tayberry from one of my tayberry bushes, and there was only one that formed on it. It wasn't that the rest had been eaten. There was only one that formed for some reason. But yeah, so I've had no trouble with them. And the ones that I did cover up haven't formed anything anyway, so it's about right. So Rachel Jane is saying they need to be a deep wine red color. Okay, thank you. Andrew Fishman saying that jam and pie from a Tabery would be excellent. Yeah, I'd agree with that. I can imagine a Tabery pie would be very nice. So Rachel Jane's allotment saying, and they are heavy producers. I'll believe that when I see it. I've had one fruit. To be fair, the plants are quite small still, but yeah, mine are far from heavy producers. So Rachel Jane's allotment saying she's had about £8 so far. Well, if I'd had 8 fruits, I would have been happy. Yeah, I'm not going to hide it. I am very jealous of that. No, they don't, Andrew, to be fair. They're shaded by a house, a wall, and trees. As soon as I get the polytunnel, I'll be set then, because I'll have full sun. Currently, no, they don't get very much sun at all. You know, it's a nice little spot I've got there, and all the walls are painted white, so light is reflected onto them, but none of my fruit bushes do amazing purely because they just don't get enough light. That's my issue in winter. Obviously, plants do go leggy in winter, but because mine is heavily shaded by bushes, trees, the house, the wall, I barely get any light, and then I get all of my seeds going leggy, which is why my back wall of my greenhouse is painted white to sort of reflect a bit of the light back onto the plants. And it does help, but even then it's not the best. So Rachel Jane's allotment saying that hers are about a foot behind a greenhouse, up a 6-foot fence, so they only get evening sun. That's basically what mine get. They get evening sun, and like they get a bit of morning sun, but it's heavily shaded. But they get evening sun from about, well, in the summer probably about 5-ish till sundown. So when you're saying cut back hard, do you mean the plant or the plants around it? I assume you mean the plant itself. So Show Fuchu is here. Hello, thank you very much for coming along. So Andrew Fishman saying that most fruiting plants like a fair bit of light. Yeah. Again, once I get the polytunnel, I'll be sorted then. Hello, Koshaw. Thank you very much for coming along. So Rachel Jane's allotment saying take out the stems that fruited and tie in the new grow like raspberry. Okay. Yeah, I've not had much experience with fruit bushes and stuff yet, so that's very useful advice. I'll write that in my notebook in a bit. I've not got much in this notebook. I've got how to make compost, garden compost, potting compost, and how to avoid rats in compost, but I haven't got much else. It is very useful though having a note like that, a notebook, because actually the compost and garden compost and the potting compost mix and avoiding rats in compost is all actually notes that my dad wrote when he was about my age. Well, actually, my gran wrote them for my dad, but still. And I copied them into this book. I am eating ravioli, Colshaw. So Andrew Fishman's saying to treat most berries like you would roses. Well, Andrew, I'm not trying to be awkward at all, but the way I treat roses is put them in a pot and leave them. I've not pruned. Actually, no, that's a lie. I pruned mine a little bit. I took 4 bits off of it last year. Yeah, I'm not much of a. Well, I'm not very knowledgeable when it comes to any plants like that at all that need cutting back. I mainly just leave them unless obviously like advice like that, then I will follow it. But mostly I just sort of leave them. Yeah, that's another good idea. Results and details and stuff. Helpful to record failures and successes. Definitely. That's a very good idea. It will also be quite good to see whether, if I'm doing the same method each year, whether the method, doesn't quite work as well in a few years' time, or whether it works even better. Because, some methods, the way you do it might be the same. However, for example, if, I don't know, when you did all your potting up with a specific type of compost, and you'd had consistent results, but then suddenly they changed how that compost was, and then your results might get better or worse. So, it'd be interesting to see them. Okay, thank you, Andrew. Yeah, I wasn't trying to be awkward. I just genuinely do not know about that stuff. Yeah, so going to mulching with straw, obviously I do that on my strawberries, but I was just wondering, obviously I've got chickens now, and when I clear them out, I don't like to waste all of the amazing chicken poo. So could I use, chicken sawdust, because it's got, chicken poo and stuff in it? Would I be able to just use that as mulch? Would that work? Or would I be better off just putting that into compost when I eventually start making compost? So Rachel Jane's allotment saying that she wouldn't. Okay. Oh, it gets hot. That's another thing, actually. Are they called hotbeds? I'm going to try and make a hotbed. I've been doing a bit of research on them, so I'm going to have a go at making one for the winter and put something in them. Okay, so basically everybody's saying not to use chicken straw and chicken wood chips. It's best to leave them compost down so that the chicken poo doesn't burn the roots. Yeah, that's a good point. Thank you. There we go. I finally finished eating. I'm normally a really quick eater, but because I'm talking to everybody as well, so that the stream isn't just me eating for an hour. Took me a bit longer. Okay, so it needs to age. Thank you, Andrew. Right, I'm just gonna go take my plate down. I'll be just a minute. So Rachel Jane's saying, make a Google bed, put manure in there below, where the roots of small plants will be, but where the adult roots will reach when it's cool. Green Raven saying the maid does not collect the dishes. No. I have to admit, I'm very lucky. I never had, well, other than when Jim Bob was here and he'd go off and make a cup of tea. I don't normally get cups of teas brought up to me. Well, I don't get cups of teas brought up to me, and my tea brought up to me while I'm live streaming. So that's quite nice today. A nice treat. So Andrew Fishman's saying to Rachel Jane, great idea. He does that with carp also, but bury it about 1.5 to 2 feet deep and let the worms do their thing. Works great under tomatoes and corn also. Oh, that's another thing. So another thing I bought in Poundland today was a cloche. I've seen them for ages and I've always sort of looked at them, but no more. But I decided today, you know what, I just get one. Because we're not lucky like Andrew, we have very cold winters, colder than Andrew's, even though he's going to, well, to be fair, yours gets colder at night, Andrew, for sure. But ours is consistently pretty cold. And even in the summer, we're pretty cold. So I thought I'd get a cloche in the hopes that it will fit over my current raised bed I got. If not, then the raised bed I'm going to be building soon, I'll build that to fit with the cloche. So how big is your polytunnel then, Rachel Jane? Because the one that I've bought is 120 feet, sorry, by, I'd like to say 21 feet. I could be wrong on that. I'll say 21 feet, but it might be bigger. And the cover is going to be very expensive, so I'm only really buying my supplies now from Poundland. But you know, they all work just as fine, and I'm still getting new things to try. I've just got to cut down on buying plants I don't necessarily need. Unless I can sell them to make a profit, I'm not really buying anything. Unless it obviously helps my plants grow, like fertilizers and cloche and stuff. Yeah, that's the thing, Andrew. You've got you know two very extreme temperatures. Obviously, you've got really hot and then really cold. I bet that's very difficult for you to cope with. Yeah, fun times in the garden. Andrew Fishman saying, if you can grow a garden in Canberra, you can grow one anywhere. So Rachel Jane's allotment is saying that her polytunnel is 6 meters by 3 meters. That's a decent sized polytunnel. Oh, you have 6. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, I don't need to buy any seeds, that's for sure. For anybody who hasn't seen, I'll just show you all again. And for everybody who has seen, you'll just have to sit through that. I've actually got more since that, and I haven't put them in the in their boxes yet, to be honest. So I've got 3 big tubs of seeds. This one is pretty full. This is all for this year, and a lot of it now is too late to be sown. So I'll just try them very early next year, and then hopefully I'll get through them. So that is box number 1. That's to be sown this year. These are 2020 and 2021 seeds. as you can see, quite a lot in there. And these are 2022 to 2023 seeds in here. Again, quite a lot. The Rubik's Cubes, yeah, they don't actually, they can't be solved. My sister sort of ruined them years ago. She took all the stickers off them and then got caught doing it. So they physically can't be solved now because she sort of just put them back on randomly. So, well, as far as we're aware, they can't be solved. I think one side's solved. There we go, one side. My friend did that, who is good with Rubik's Cubes, and he's the one that told me that it can't be solved. So if you look, all the stickers are a bit wonky on it. That's because they've all been taken off by my sister. This one might be solvable. No, these have been taken off as well. Oh well. Yeah, so I've got this one, but I'm not a Rubik's Cube person at all. So I don't. Yeah, I'm awful with them. That's the truth. They're quite old as well, so they're a bit stiff. Yes, sisters. Well, Rachel Jane, to be honest with you, they aren't organised in there at all. I've got. Bear in mind, this wasn't really me. My mum helped me do these because I'm awful at organising stuff. And this is literally just because I have so many. I'm not normally this organised. It's just because I have that many seeds. I needed to organise them because at the time, I just had a huge pile on my desk and I needed to do something with them. Frank Coldwell's here. Hello. Thank you very much for coming along. Yeah, these are like some really old ones from like the 80s. Well, I think this one is anyway. I could be wrong, but I'll double check on that. But it's very stiff. You can hear the spring going. Oh no, you can't. There you go. But there we go. I won't bore you, and I won't bore myself because I'm not much of a Rubik's Cube person myself. But for anybody who is, I'll leave you with the completed side just so it doesn't annoy anybody. But I'm hoping to eventually get a lava lamp to have somewhere here. I've had one before, but the bulb went on it, unfortunately, and I've gotten rid of it now. So that's that. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna annoy everybody. Do one side incomplete. Sand pictures. Don't think so. Unless this is what you mean. When you say a sand picture, I don't quite know what you mean. I mean, like this sort of thing where you put like different coloured pieces of sand in a jar. I've got like 3 of these. If you're referring to actual pictures in sand or something, then I have no idea. But I don't have any, that's for sure. I'm just going to put all of my tubs away now. Sand and oil in a frame, somebody's saying. Rachel Jane's allotment saying she wants one. I mean, I want one for the kids. I can't think what they are, sand pictures. Let me Google it. I probably know what it is. I just know it by a different name or something, probably. Oh no, I haven't seen those before. Oh, those are cool. Yeah, those are really cool. I might have to get one of those. There we go. So we got 7 people here, 10 likes. Filled with fine sand, several colors of liquid. Yeah. So yeah, those are cool. I like that. I might have to get one because I like nice things like that. And just to make it a little less boring for everybody watching the stream, because obviously all you can see normally is my door, which is over there, and my wardrobes. Well, my wardrobe and my junk storage, I suppose you could call it. It's how I keep my room tidy. I just sort of chuck stuff in there, and yeah. Yeah, so what do you all think about this display behind me? Is it a bit cluttered? Is it a bit boring, or is it okay? Because I spent quite a long time sort of settling it, sort of setting it up. So, if there's anything that looks a bit weird, please let me know. Yeah, cactus plant on one of the shelves, definitely. I did think of doing, actually, I'll rectify that. I'll do it right now. Boom. There we go. You can't see it, but it's there. It's a Rabutia, if anybody's wondering. In fact, no, I'll put it up here. Be next to another cactus. Thank you. All right, that's good because I wasn't too sure with like the books and stuff and lights everywhere whether it was a bit cluttered or distracting. I think eventually I'm going to get some more lights to go sort of like up the top of the shelves there, and then maybe have some like fairy light type things going along it. But it's fine now. I like it like this. It's just very simple. Thing is, though, every time I do a live, or every time I finish a live, I'm gonna have to remember to move that cactus back onto the windowsill, and then obviously every time I do a live, I'm gonna have to, because I did think about having a really big, cactus or something behind me. Closest thing I've got is obviously those lights, but I can't get it. Well, basically, this weird thing here is actually a type of cactus. It is for anybody who actually cares. Here we go. Here's an awkward one. Austrocylindropuntia flocoso. There we go. There's one of the awkward cactus names I was saying about. And there's people who know a cactus like that by sight and be like, oh yeah, that's a whatever. So Rachel Jane's allotment saying little fairy light cactus. No, little fairy cactus lights. There we go. She thinks she's seen some, but that's a good idea. Yeah. Fairy cactus lights or fairy-like cactuses, cacti. It's confusing, but yeah, fairy cactus lights. There we go. They'd be really cool to sort of like hang along the top here and go right along. Andrew Fishman saying his grandma had one of those, but the wheels fell off. I'm still trying to work out what do you think? What looks better, like this, or whether with the camera like this more? I think that looks better. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. That looks a bit better. Except now you've got that annoying light. Where's that even? There we go. There we go. It's because the lights that I'm using are a bit. Well, they're on maximum brightness actually. We normally have them on dim. There we go. Oh no. They're really glary. There we go. No. There we go. Right, I'm gonna have to try and do something about those because that's annoying. Unless I just have the camera slightly tilted this way, like that. And I can be more. There we go. Right, sorry. I have to do that every live stream, have a bit of a faff about with my setup. I'll find a way eventually where it works. Maybe I have it at an angle so my desk is sort of like this way more. It's like here, and I have the camera here, and I'm sort of sat there, and then you've got a view of a wall that's boring with one grow your own poster, which I haven't used at all, but it's a garden year planner for anybody who's been wondering. Cactus string. Oh, you got a link. Oh no, is that taking me off the stream? I don't know. Can you still? Did the stream just go then? I need to check. Let me check. I don't want to end the stream with something silly. There we go. Is it working? Okay, so it's still working on my end anyway. String lights for cactus, $36. Those are cool. There's also neon light small cactus. And there's another one that's exactly the same, but it has a flower. Or there's multicolored cactus lights. Right, sorry, I'm getting distracted. Get back onto the stream. There we go. Yeah, there's probably something local that I don't have to pay millions of pounds for delivery. There we go. So we've been going for an hour and 3/4. That's definitely the longest live stream I've done on my channel before. The longest one was last night though with Monty. The longest stream that I've been on. I think that was about, wow, it was 3 hours, but I was there for about 2.5 hours because I joined roughly half an hour into the stream. We got 6 people here and 11 likes. I'm very impressed with that. So Rachel James Allotment saying she thinks she saw them in a pound shop. Well, I'll have to keep an eye out for them then. We'll go on eBay and spend a load of money to get them. I've just realised I've had my Pip-Boy light on. It's a thing from a video game. Suppose the battery hasn't died. I must have turned that on earlier when I was getting this set up. It's annoying because it's on a stand. You're supposed to wear it and it like works with the game or something. I don't know. I've never used it for that. I've sort of just had it as a decoration, I suppose. But it's got a stand, and the way it fits in, I'm not going to show you because it's really difficult to fit it onto the stand, and I spent like 10 minutes trying to do it. So another thing I'm planning on doing, sort of my list for what to do this week is, or next week, is to build a raised bed. Because the current one I've got is about sort of that high off the ground. It's like roughly 2 feet or 30 centimeters ish. I'm not quite sure. I've not really measured it, but it isn't the highest thing off the ground. Ideally, I want something that's more waist height, not for any particular reason, just because people always say that, you know, they always go on about how they're a lot better, and because it's literally just going to be quite long, but very not very wide. I thought I'd just, you know, have one that's a lot higher so that it works. Oh, there we go. Ship it. Oh, so Andrew, is this so? Your online store currently offers shipping at two rates for the UK standard delivery, £5, or free delivery over £60, 3 to 7 bus days. Available on all subtotal orders above £60. Free shipping. You don't see that very often. There was a company to do with some of the ants that I was trying to order. They were a special type of ant that you could only buy from Australia, but you were legally allowed to get them in the UK, because a lot of them you're not allowed. But these ones you could get them in the UK, because they would just die thrown outside. But basically, it was legal to get these shipped to the UK. So I thought, wow, amazing. It was 100. This was for one queen, which is the one that lays the eggs, and 10 workers, which are just like the normal ants. It was $100. They were called bullet ants. It was a special species of them, but the bullet ants basically, and also trapjaw ants. They were another one that I was looking at that I could get sent to the UK, but it was $100 Australian for this queen. Both. But it was the bullet ant that I was looking at. I think they're called. Yeah, bullet ant. It's basically like a really quick ant. Maybe it was bull ant. But anyway, this company, I think they're called Ants Australia or something. I think they sell both, to be fair. But the bullet ants, anyway, they were the ones I was trying to order because I like the sound of them. Green Raven's saying, great chat. Need to consult her brother on the plumbing. Cut a large hole in the shower while listening. But solution. Oh no. Sorry to hear that, Laura. I'm really sorry. Good luck getting it fixed. Rest in peace, your shower. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, the bites of them. Yeah, I've heard they're horrible. That's kind of why I didn't get them in the end, anyway. But it was $100. That was just for the ant and a few workers. But then it was another like $30 for delivery. So I decided, well, if the thing itself was $30 to get the ant thing, I probably wouldn't have bothered getting it. But because it was £100 and the delivery was $100 and the delivery was $30, it was just, I don't understand how they sell them. You know, that's a lot of money for an ant queen that is really difficult to keep and would probably die anyway. Yeah, thank you, Laura. Good luck. Yeah, Rachel Jane, flying ants. I know nobody cares, but I'm going to say it anyway. It's basically their nuptial flight currently, where basically they go off and breed. The males die, the females obviously become the queens. It's genuinely, I have spent a weekend last year doing this because it's not the nuptial flights where I am, purely because we haven't had any rain yet. However, it literally, as soon as we get the next bit of rain, and then if it's sunny again, we'll have a nuptial flight here, hopefully. And I spent a good weekend or so last year going around with a load of test tubes. I'll show you the ones I used. No, I won't. I moved them. Oh, here they are. So a load of test tubes like these with cotton wool here, water here, and then actually the water was more to here because it was just for a queen. And I went around, I went on walks and stuff around the farm, all sorts, catching all these queens. Yeah, I bet you do, Andrew. It's it's there's a lot of stuff obviously for you that you would have to get shipped to Australia, and I'm relatively lucky in the UK because we're sort of relatively central. The most we're going to pay is like £30 for delivery, unless obviously it's like delivering a horse, for example. That's going to be like 500 quid. But normally the delivery doesn't get too much more than that because we're relatively central. And I have to admit, I buy quite a lot of my ant colonies from Holland because for some reason there's like 8 different companies in Holland. I don't know why Holland, but apparently that's the best place for. Do you play Warhammer, Andrew? If so, what army? I'll see if I can find mine. Got one that hasn't been assembled and that's lost a foot. Oh, that's annoying. Yeah, I think my dog got to that one. I'll see if I can find my army. It's under here. Yeah, got it. Got one. Trying to get one of my decent ones. Yeah, I've got some big armies. Warhammer is expensive anyway. But I don't know if you do play Warhammer, but I play Necrons, the army Necron. For anybody who doesn't know, Warhammer, you pay about a fortune for a little mod. I paid £9 for this guy, and he was completely unassembled. I got it like £1 cheaper than I'd get normally, but he was completely unassembled and unpainted. So you have to put them together and paint them. So you're an orc, yeah. I wish I went orc, but I had a friend at the time who was orcs, and he was a bit of a control freak, so nobody else could be orcs. So I was Tau Empire, but then they were just too expensive, so I sold that army and decided to go to Necrons, which are a bit cheaper. And they're a lot cooler because they're easier to paint, because I'm awful at painting. This is the only one I've added color to because he was like an important person, but everybody else I just paint with this. Just do the silver paint and then detail the gun. But I am very shockingly awful at painting them. This took me about, I don't even know, too long to paint. So your son likes Tau. Yeah, I like them. They're just expensive. I've never actually played. I've been playing Warhammer collecting Warhammer for about a year. I've never played a proper game, which is a shame, because I would love to play a game of Warhammer one day, but I just never get the time to go in to the nearest Warhammer shop, which is like a 30-minute bus drive away, a bus journey away. Like, I've just never had the time, and yeah. So you've got thousands of painted models and 1,000 more unpainted. I've just had an idea. Next time I'm doing my Warhammer painting and assembling, I'll just do a live stream while I'm doing it, because then it'll be like a 8-hour long live stream of just me sat there painting 3 models in 8 hours. So you've not played 5th edition, but you think it is as like 8th edition now. 6th edition sucked badly. Is that the editions of Orc are you talking about? Because obviously I'm relatively new to the world of Warhammer, And I don't know much of the lore of it either, other than the fact that the additions to the rules, right? Yeah, the only lore of it that I know, and it's not even lore, is that you need to be a millionaire to get a decent army. Either that or just really patient. Because my main thing is I'll go there, spend 20 quid to get like 10 or 20 of these or whatever, however many you get, and then I just won't paint them. Yeah, yeah, the truth. And I just won't paint them then. So yeah, like I said, I spent time on this one. This took me like forever to paint. So I've just decided to stick to, the rest of the Necrons. I've just painted with that. Anyway, sorry for anybody who doesn't know what Warhammer is for just boring you. Yeah, it's just I haven't met another Warhammer fan since the controlling orc player that I used to know, who basically he owned orcs. He was orcs. He was the only person allowed to have orcs in the UK type player. So yeah, I'm surprised you actually got Warhammer in Australia. That's good. At least I'm not alone on YouTube then. I can talk about that. War Machine / Horde stuff, yeah. I mean, I have to admit, orcs are one of those armies that Necrons and Tau can fight, but literally nothing else can fight because you cannot go melee with orcs unless you've got something that's really good at range, like Tau or orcs. You're screwed basically if you're fighting an orc army because Nick, to give you a bit of an idea, basically the orcs are like an orc. I don't know if you can imagine what an orc would be like. They're just very overpowered, very cheap, awful guns, but they can kill people easily if they're close. Right, sorry about that though. So you had to mail order from GW UK. Is that Games Workshop? I'm assuming UK back in the day, but now you are not allowed to order from there. Oh no! So where do you get them from then? Do you just get them on eBay? Because eBay is an amazing place for people like me who can't be bothered to paint them, to paint the models and stuff. Just even though I say that, I've not actually bought any painted models yet, but I'm going to as soon as I get the Poly channel up, and as soon as I'm sorted with all that, in a couple of years, I'll just buy a big army off of YouTube, eBay. Sorry, not YouTube. But yeah, sorry about that. Back to not talking about Warhammer. Unless you want to talk about Warhammer, obviously, Andrew. I'll talk to you about it, but I'll stop boring everybody else by talking about it. So yeah, Horde / melee army. Got to buy locally. Games Workshop made they made strict zones. Okay. All right. So back to talking about other stuff. Obviously. Yeah, Rachel Jane. I played Ark with Jim Bob. I don't play it anymore because I used to play. I never played on PvP. Well, I did at first. Sorry again for any non-gamers. I'm really sorry. I'm sorry, Nick. But basically, I used to play PvP, but I was a noob then, so I'd get destroyed very quickly before I could advance past Thatch. So then I went to PvE, which is, for anybody who doesn't know, basically people can't damage your buildings, but if you don't play in about a week, your buildings get removed, which is why I don't play anymore, because the game literally stops you from not playing, because as soon as you stop playing for a week, that's it, all your stuff goes. And I'm a bit weird when it comes to gaming and Warhammer, anything really, apart from gardening. I will do it, maybe for a week. I'll be like, yeah, that's what I want to do. And I'll spend quite a lot of time on it. And then I just won't do it for like a month. So it was getting to the point that Ark was just becoming a game. It was like, right, if you don't play me, that's fine. You'll lose all your progress. So then I moved on to a solo world type thing. But I got bored in the end because they added loads of stuff that ruined the game. For example, what do you call it? Tech armor, the stuff that makes you fly. So I didn't like that, so I stopped playing. Atlas, was it Atlas? You said Atlas, yeah. I was gonna get Atlas, but then I sort of got out of completely went out of gaming at that time because I was still gaming for a while when I was doing gardening, but I completely went out of it then at that point. So I've not bought Atlas now, and I saw a lot of bad reviews and I heard really bad things about it at the time. So I've just decided not to bother. Might get it one day, but on my computer, I don't actually know what I play. What do I play? Banished. What else do I play? The Forest. They Are Billions. Empyrean. And Stranded Deep. They are my only games. Yeah, Raiders. Yeah, Andrew, I would have recommended it when it first came out onto Xbox, because that's what I played on. When it first came out on there, which was like 2-3 years ago, I would have highly recommended getting it because it was good then. Don't bother getting it now, Andrew, because if you don't, unless you're on a solo world, you lose all your gear for not playing. Because I don't commit to video games very often. I play it, then don't play it, then play it again later on, or like a month later or so. And also, it's really difficult, and it takes a long time. So if you want to progress, you've got to tame creatures to help you. Kind of like you've got like horses and vehicles in real life that do things for you, and cattle and stuff. In Ark, it's dinosaurs. So if you want to tame a decent one, you're looking at spending like 3 or 4 hours doing it. And you can't leave it because it will get killed or wake up or run out of food. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend getting Ark at this point because it's just that difficult. That's the thing. I've really fallen behind. And I can tell that I've fallen behind because obviously I'm a teenager and I'm supposed to game more, but I've not heard of any of these. Like Red Dead Redemption, I don't play. Ark 2, haven't heard about that. And you're way ahead of me when it comes to gaming. To be perfectly honest with you. So yeah, you're definitely ahead of me when it comes to gaming. But that's there would have been a time that I'd been, oh yeah, I've got Atlas, I've got Red Dead Redemption 2 or whatever. But no, I don't play it enough. Yeah, and older. Yeah. Now I'll just be here while you're all playing your fancy new video games. I'll be here either playing my PlayStation 2 with 16 megabytes of RAM data storage, which is enough to hold more games than I have, and I've got like 40. Whereas now my Xbox has got 30 games on it, and I need a terabyte to keep all those on. I prefer PlayStation 2 games, to be fair, or just sitting here doing a live stream, drinking from a absolutely massive water bottle. So we've been going for 2 hours now. We've got 6 people here and 11 likes. So Andrew Fishman's saying his son is a gamer. He really has no idea, but there are a few games he likes. Yeah. So what sort of games do you play then, Andrew? I picture you as the sort of like a Call of Duty type thing. I don't know. I could be wrong. I feel like you play Call of Duty, perhaps. But yeah, Red Dead Redemption. That is a good game for anybody to play. Although I haven't played it myself. You can't stop. Andrew Fish is here. Sorry, but you can't stop. He's on the way to work. I thought he'd just stop in and leave a like. Thank you, Fish with Bish. Really appreciate it. I know what it's like sometimes. You see a live stream, but you can't quite stay for it. That's completely fine. Thank you for coming along. So, do you play Borderlands then? Very happy about that. Oh, you hate Call of Duty and Battlefield. That surprises me, to be honest. So, Rachel, are there any games you don't play? Well, okay then. Question for anybody who's ever played a video game ever, or just a game on your phone. What is your most what is the game you hate the most out of everything? Mine would probably be Fortnite. That's the game I hate the most out of everything, for sure. Yeah, cheers, Nick. Thank you very much for coming along. Really appreciate it. See you again. $9:00. I need to put my chickens away at some point, but they can wait. I actually forgot to put them away last night. I felt really guilty and worried when I went up there this morning because I remembered I didn't shut them away because I got carried away on My Family Gardens stream, but they were all fine. Yeah, cheers, Nick. Really appreciate you coming along, and well, see you again. Have fun watering your plants. I don't get Fortnite either. I hate any games that you play time and again and on the same map. Yeah, I agree. The main thing I hate about it is I like a game where I can physically and visually progress. For example, I don't know. I'll just pick a random game or any game really. You know, you've either got levels that you sort of go up and it gets harder, or you build a better base each time, like in Ark, where you're slowly upgrading. Whereas Fortnite, all you do is change how your character looks, and then you just go into a game, grab a load of stuff. It's like, I don't know. It's just because you don't physically or visually progress other than your level and how you look. I just don't see the point in playing it. Halo, yeah, I like Halo. Halo Reach is the best one in my opinion out of all the Halos. That was the best one. I wasn't very keen on Halo 4. Halo 5, I've got it, but then I got a different. I think I got Just Cause 3, so I started playing that. So I haven't actually got to playing Halo 5 yet, but I played like 10 minutes and I sort of liked it, but I don't like the villains in it anymore. I can't think what they're called. Let me just check what they're called. Halo 4, there we go. It doesn't say what they're called. Anyway, the enemies in Halo 4 and Halo 5, or at least the beginning of Halo 5, I don't know whether they continue. Yeah, I play with friends a lot as well. So I liked Reach. I didn't like the fact that you couldn't play on Forge with more people, like split screen on 5. So that's another reason why I haven't played it. Because I like to play video games with friends, unless I'm playing Banished or Forest. I don't know if any of you have played The Forest, but it's a horror game, and I'm not very good at it. I basically hide in a tree. You're supposed to find your son in it, but I've forgotten about him at this point, and I'm just trying not to be killed by cannibals. So my gameplay went, if I were to record the gameplay of me playing that game, it would literally just me in a treehouse. I'd occasionally go down to get food, see a cannibal, scream, run away, go in the tree. So yeah. Yeah. We were. The cannibal took him, but I mean, he can fend for himself. I've seen the end of the game. He's treated relatively well, so I'll just leave him. He's fine. He's only being brainwashed and turned into a cannibal. I hope it goes back to 2-player because that's put me off of Halo 5. That's the main reason why I haven't played much of it. Because I used to love in Halo 3. I had a friend who was like, I was maybe 10 at the time when I played that. I had a friend who was about 6, and we played together. And I'd shoot him with a shotgun, and he'd nearly die of a heart attack. So, because it'd be like relatively late for him, so I'd shoot him with a shotgun, and he'd scream. That was the main reason why I played Halo 3. To be fair, because the story on that was good, but at the same time, it got a bit boring at times. There's my co-horn falling. It's a shame because on my old YouTube channel, for anybody who doesn't know, I did have an old channel. I did a Toblerone unboxing that got 300 views. Obviously, I can't do that video again now, but I might see if I can sort of like upload it onto my channel. But I don't think I have the footage anymore, which is a shame because that was a very fun video. I'll show you the Toblerone. It's not just, I'm not just talking about like a little Toblerone because nobody wants to see that. No, I got a massive Toblerone. It was worth £75. Actually, it's supposed to have been eaten up, like eaten by now before it goes past the sell-by date. But I've got to about here, so I've eaten this much to about maybe here actually. So I'm gonna have a look. There's some really good Toblerone biscuit recipes or cookie up recipes. So I'm gonna be making a few of those to use them up. Yeah, that is a Toblerone. I'll show you. Why not? We'll do a mini. Well, it's not really an unboxing because it's already been opened, but I'll show you all anyway. So this is the box, obviously. For anybody who doesn't know what a box is, this is what a box looks like. This is the actual packet for the Toblerone. For anybody who doesn't know what a Toblerone packet looks like, it has got Toblerone on the other side. Let me just take it out and I'll show you. Surprised the dogs didn't bark at that. Right. So here is the giant Toblerone packet. And I'll just break off the... Oh, no, I can. Yeah, it was really awkward to eat. So I'd get a hammer and a knife and break off pieces. This is like half a piece. I haven't got anything to break it, I don't think. I'll just sort of show you like this, I suppose. Put that down. Actually, I think I can just take these out. Yeah, it's broken, so I can take it out. There we go. So this is 2 pieces of the Toblerone, just to give you an idea. So I've got, what, 6 of these left. Well, 6.5. Sorry for anybody who now wants chocolate. To be fair, you've probably all gone now to search up Toblerone biscuit recipes. Yeah, I got it at Christmas. So that gives you an idea. I won it in my school. I paid £2 on raffle tickets. They were 50p a ticket. And the guy, well, he was supposed to obviously give me 4 tickets, but he didn't give me my 4th ticket, which was number 204, if I remember correctly. Yeah, 204. And he didn't give me this ticket. But the queue was moving quick, and I'd already gone before I'd realised that. So I just thought, all right, then carried on. Well, they called it out then on a tannoy, and it turned out that the ticket I didn't get given was the ticket that got called, ticket number 204. So I thought, oh no, because they're going to want proof or something, because it said, ticket 204. And they didn't say a name either. So I thought, oh, so they don't even know who bought the ticket. So I was really worried. So I found one of the teachers and said, are you looking for me? I got ticket 204. And I was thinking, oh no. But they didn't ask. They said, oh, are you Michael Andrew? I was like, oh, phew, they had my name on it because I had no proof otherwise. So I was really lucky about that. Hi, Monty. Thank you very much for coming along. I thought I'd, after last night's live, I decided to change around the background a little bit. And it kind of put me in the mood then after changing the background to do a bit of a live stream. So here I am. Monty, just wondering really, how do you do a stream through Google Hangouts? Do you just go on Google Hangouts and stream? Is that what the third party streaming thing is? Yeah, I've been out pretty much all day today, Monty. I've spent this week in the garden, but other than that, I've been out. I'll be right back. Oh, I was just bringing up some stuff that I bought today. Sorry. Yeah, Monty, you missed the Toblerone thing. So if you go to Creator Studio Classic to event, select Quick Stream, and that should let you go live with Hang. All right. Cheers. I'm very good, thanks, Monty. How are you? Yeah, I've had my dose of sun Wednesday night and Tuesday night. I did. Well, actually, yeah, I spent all day. Well, I wasn't in school. From about 4, which is when I get home from school, till 9ish, I was out in my greenhouse. So right till sundown. How's the lighting for everybody? Is it getting a bit dark for you, or is it still all right? Mowed the lawn and cut the hedges. Nice. All right, cheers. Keep looking at my phone now. Yeah, by the way, if you're wondering why I'm eating fudge, I bought some really nice salt caramel fudge today from a sweet shop where I went. It was near the pound shop, so I decided to go in and we bought chewing nuts and fudge. So I decided to get some salted caramel because I don't know if anybody agrees, but salted caramel is the best fudge flavor you can get. Rachel Jane, you became a spanner or wrench or whatever we're going to call it. We'll go Team Spanner because Monty's here. You became a spanner when I made you one. No, it was beginning of the stream. You've come on to a few of my streams before, so thought I'd give you moderator. Never had salted caramel. What any like? You've never had salted caramel. You've never had salted caramel fudge. If you haven't had salted caramel, you haven't lived. Is sauerkraut, is that Russian thing with like cabbage and stuff in it? Am I correct in saying that? Could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. But it sounds nice though. No, it doesn't ruin it. No, I don't salt my chips. No, it's salted caramel is like caramel, but it doesn't taste salty. It's fermented veg, yeah. Because people think, oh, salted caramel is horrible. It makes it even sweeter. Like caramel's nice, but salted caramel's better. Because I don't put salt on anything, but salted caramel, I don't know, something about it. It's just amazing. It tastes really good. If you haven't had salted caramel, you haven't lived. Salted caramel ice cream, I'd say, is the best because the fudge doesn't really taste that much. It just tastes like, well, it doesn't taste much like anything really. It tastes very similar to just regular clotted cream fudge or vanilla fudge, stuff like that. So, yeah, you need to try salted caramel. Don't listen to what Andrew Fishman's saying about it. I'll have to have a look at that. Yeah, I don't like salt either, Andrew. It's not salty. It because I don't like salt on anything. Like when people get fish and chips. It is really nice. And they have fish and chips and they put like loads of salt and stuff on it. And I don't like that because it ruins the flavor. It's disgusting. I hate salt. But salted caramel, it doesn't taste salty. Like I promise, because I hate salt as well. I can't explain it. There is no way of explaining it, I think. It's literally, I'll get a Google definition. Something. Actually, no, I can't because, oh well, I can. Oh no, Monty, no, not for me. Salt and vinegar's not so bad, but salt, nah, no. I'll eat it if it's put on there by by accident, but I don't like salt or vinegar really. I prefer just fish and chips, plain. Yeah, I didn't get why people put salt and water. Yeah, well, vinegar. I don't mind vinegar on chips, but even then, it's like, I prefer it plain. But no, not salt. Salt is horrible on anything. Don't you hate it? Those videos, clickbait, I suppose they are. Hang a jar of vinegar in the garden, and this will happen. And then you go through the video, and nothing to do with what the title or the thumbnail was plays. There's one that I saw the other day, and it looked genuinely interesting. It was something about gardening. The thumbnail was, and the title was like, "Oh, do this to your garden, and it will improve your crops by 40% or whatever." I thought, "Oh, well, that's really cool." I had a look on it. It literally had nothing to do with gardening at all, other than the fact that no, it didn't have anything. It was literally just a cooking video. And I watched like from the beginning to the end. There's nothing. It really annoys me when people do that, clickbaiting and stuff. So I always leave a dislike when I get clickbaited. All those top 10 channels, they're another really annoying one because it's normally just same old stuff that everybody's seen. It's oh yeah, top 10 this, top 10 that. I don't know, it might just be me, but it just really annoys me when I get clickbaited mainly. Yeah, PewDiePie did it recently. I don't watch him regularly, but somebody said to, so I had a look at it, and he said something like, had a picture, and it was like a picture of him, and they were like eating the picture or something weird, and it said this person ate me or something weird, like ate a picture of him or something. I can't remember the title. It was something like this person ate my picture or something weird, and then you went on the video, and it was nothing to do with that at all. He was talking about how T-Series is nearly overtaking him. So PewDiePie has been naughty and broke the rules. You should know better, being the second most subscribed channel on YouTube. But I don't like PewDiePie. He's a gaming channel, and I don't like gaming channels. Bought a new book today. So I'll explain why I've got this book. So it is the Emperor series by Con Iggulden. Anybody who likes Roman stuff, Roman warfare, things like that, highly recommend the Emperor series by Con Iggulden. I agree, Andrew. Most overrated channel on YouTube. I agree completely. But basically, I got book 2, 3, and 4 at a Church Fate sale thing, but they didn't have book 1. I started reading book 2 because I couldn't find book 1 at all. It was like £17 online, so I decided not to get it. Well, today I was in Waterstones and they had it for £9. I also found Hugh's book, but it was something like £16, and the book was really badly damaged. So I decided not to get it. So I'll probably just wait till it's my birthday or something, and then might get it. Yeah. It's annoying because I'm like 3/4 the way through. I don't think I've got my bag here, so I don't. I'm 3/4 of the way through the second book, and it's sort of like told me what's going to happen, if you know what I mean, how it's going to end. But still, I'd like to read the first one anyway, because they're just really good books. I'm not much of a reader. I think there's out of all of the books I've got here, I've read this one. I know a lot of them are just gardening books anyway, but I've read this one from beginning to end because it said money. Other than that, and I've started reading the one below it, which is Colourful Cacti and Other Succulents of the Desert. But other than that, I've not read any of these through properly. I'll look at them to try and find stuff. But that one, I needed a book to read in school, and I decided to get that. Yeah, well, I didn't want to. I had it for a year and didn't. But then I needed a book for school. I'd read this one, the top one, and the second one I got halfway through and I was bored to death because it was just the majority of it. I'd have pages and pages of names like this one. Austrocylindropuntia flucosa stuff. So I just gave up in the end. So I changed book and I decided to go with that because nothing else looked good. But I regret it now because that was maybe 3 months ago, and obviously now I've got the book, but it's just how it works out. Do you know what I mean? I don't think I've got the. Oh yeah, I do. I've got the other ones here. So this is book 3. Oh god. So this is book 3 here, and this is book 4. It's weird because this is the only one with red on it, which I don't quite understand. All the other ones are white covers, and book 2 is the same. But book 3 has a red cover, which is one of those things that bothers me. Yeah, this book 3, yeah. Alright, now I need to sort out the mess I've just... Oh god. The big mess I've just made. I've got... Yeah, so I think everybody here has got the spanner now. Oh no. Yeah, I'm not very good at putting stuff on this shelf. I sort of just balance them because the top was pretty bad, to be honest with you. And the bottom was bad. But I just moved all of the stuff on the top to the bottom. So now I literally cannot fit anything on the bottom because it's already got stuff there that it doesn't have any room for. And I've added more. Right, what have I missed? Nothing. Wow. Yeah. Well, yeah, it's perfect opportunity. I had a spanner. I couldn't resist. Right. So I've been going for 2.5 hours. I've got 3 people here and 12 likes. I think, because what is it now? Yeah, it's 9:30. I've got to put my chickens away. And I've still got to water all my plants while it's daylight. So I think I'm going to sort of go now. So any last questions or any last things anybody wants to say, now is your chance to say them. Because this is the longest live stream I've done by about an hour. Other than the one with Monty yesterday. Yeah, thank you, Andrew. And you. Thank you for coming along, everybody. I really appreciate the fact that a few of you stayed right the way through. Really appreciate that. Yeah, see you all again. Bye.